Let's go over some embroidery-focused troubleshooting tips for the Singer SE9180. Hi, I'm Sarah from SewingMastery.com, and we're going through all the free video tutorials on how to be successful on the sewing side and the embroidery side of this machine. Now, I've been reading some reviews, and a lot of people are writing things that they're discouraged by with this machine that are so easy to fix. And number one, they either don't have the foundation of understanding how a sewing machine works, and they just get frustrated easy, or they're not doing some basic research and understanding. So I'm going to give you kind of a top 5-6 things for you to look at when something goes wrong. So number one, these video tutorials start back at the beginning. Watch me thread the machine, watch me put the bobbin in, watch me clean the machine, learn about needles. Those are things that are so important. If you don't have that foundation, this embroidery machine is going to fight you every step of the way, and you're going to think it's the worst sewing machine ever. I have not had one problem with this machine, but here's a couple things that I'm going to point to immediately. Number one, you need to use good quality thread. Now, I know that there are some amazing, beautiful thread packs that you can find online for super cheap, and it comes with all like 30 colors, 60 colors. Buy this, it's the most popular one online. I will tell you that's not always the case. You sometimes get what you paid for, and when you do pay for quality thread, it is different. Now, my favorite is Isacord embroidery thread. Robeson Anton is another one I've always had success for when I'm sitting down at some of our embroidery machines that are in the thousands of dollars, and also machines that are as simple as can be, like this one. If I put good quality thread on a machine, I'm going to have good results. Now, one of the things I have noticed, and I work with tons of different embroidery machines, but one of the things I've noticed is that if I can take embroidery thread and I can pull and it stretches, that thread is going to be probably not great. So here's what I have for you to say. If you are having trouble with the thread, let's try another brand. Let's see if it's the thread that's the problem, and don't blame the machine immediately. So this is one of the things, most common thing, if I change thread, a lot of times it fixes the problem. Second is cleaning the machine. So down underneath the throat plate, that's what this area is called, the bobbin area. When you do a lot of sewing, a lot of lint gets down here, and we have a video on how to go in here, and all you have to do is take it like 2 pieces apart and clean out. We're talking like take the brush, get all the lint out of it, and get everything back together correctly. That's another thing that sometimes people don't always do, and that will often cause your machine to be much happier. Needles are another thing. So we do talk about needles a lot throughout our videos, and embroidery needles are specific for when you're working with embroidery thread and going through lots of different layers. We are also talking about changing our needles on a regular basis. So one of the first things, I get to a point where I get a little hiccup or my thread breaks, and that's usually because I haven't changed my needle lately. And so all I do is I take the needle out, throw it away, and put a new needle in. And if I haven't cleaned down below recently, I'll do the same thing that I just talked about, cleaning the machine. And honestly, these basics are so key. Another thing I was noticing is a lot of people said that they were breaking needles. Now, tip, machine needles don't just break. Now, they do break eventually after using them, and if you haven't changed them, they do get weak and they break. But if they're breaking and you've broken 3 needles in like 5 minutes, something is not correct. So maybe the area down below has gotten kind of offset or twisted. Take it apart, put it back together, watch our video on how to do it correctly. The other thing that I have noticed when people are embroidering and they say they're breaking needles is oftentimes when their thread is up here, and I do recommend that it lays down, and that we talk about a spool cap. Everybody puts the spool cap on, but because we change so many times colors, we're putting color 1 on and color 2 and then 3, some designs have so many more colors, that sometimes the spool cap and your spool you don't get that all the way pushed on all the way. If the thread drops between the two, it will get tight and it will break your needle. So if you just go again and you rethread and you do it again and it's still in there and it's tight. I've seen this in class numerous times. Now, do you see what's over here? It's my most handy dandy thread stand, and it is a thread stand with a metal base. A thread stand eliminates the spool cap. Plus, I can use bigger spools, and it comes right over to my first guide, and it eliminates my problem. Usually, my problem is not necessarily getting this on all the way, so the thread doesn't get between the spool and the cap and break my needle. It's because I dropped this on the floor, and I'm always having to run after it or find it. And so a thread stand eliminates that. So if you have trouble hanging onto your spool caps, get a thread stand. I'll put a link below where you can find the best thread stand that doesn't fall over. Trust me, that's another issue all on its own. Okay, needles. We're changing needles often. Don't be afraid to change needles. I actually have a 100-pack. I love a 100-pack of needles because I can change these immediately, and I don't feel like, oh my gosh, I only have 4 needles left. Now I only have 3 needles left. I have 99 needles in my box. Okay, yes, multiple needles. Change your needles as often as you can. As soon as something just goes wrong, needle change first, cleaning second, rethread the machine, maybe try another thread as it is. Okay, cleaning is so important. The other little trick that I want to show you with threading for an embroidery machine. So if you've ever gotten all the nest or big hairy loops on the underneath side of your hoop, when you rethread, number 1, make sure your presser foot is up. And number 2, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to be backwards here, but hold your thread with your right hand and thread your machine with your left hand. Okay, what are we talking about? By holding here and coming straight down where it says number 3 and straight up, and then you do a little floss back and forth, it properly seats your thread all the way down into the tension disc. Now, a lot of people blame tension for issues. It's actually not the machine's fault. It's your fault. It's operator error that you did not put the thread in the tension for it to actually use. So when you get down here, the way you can tell you have it all the way down in your tension is when you lower the presser foot, which I often do so I can use and get to my needle threader a little easier, is this thread is now tight. It is super tight. I need 2 hands to almost pull it through, and if I had it in my needle, it would actually kind of bend my needle if I pulled it. So that's my little test, like, oh yeah, I have it in there far enough. But if you don't, or if you have it halfway and you start embroidering or sewing, it will come out, and then that is going to be a problem going, well, that's just going to be a problem, and you're going to blame the machine. So keep that in mind. Thread the machine with 2 hands, do that little floss, and then finish with the rest of your guides, and you are going to be in love with this machine because you're not going to have any troubles. The other thing in the embroidery world is understanding and learning stabilizers. Now, if you look right here, I have 2 layers of tearaway stabilizer because I was using a cotton piece of fabric. If you skimp on stabilizer, you use the wrong stabilizer for your fabric, things are probably not going to go as planned. And now we have issues that you could have prevented by putting and knowing more about stabilizers. So we have a online course that we call Machine Embroidery 101. It's everything you need to know about embroidering before you start. So that's 4 hours of information that you can actually go in and rewatch over and over as many times as you need, because the first time you listen to it, it will feel overwhelming, but there is so much good information all at your fingertips. So if you don't want to have to go places and search for all the information, we've put it in a pretty box with a bow, and it's everything you need to know for being a successful embroiderer, both with needles and threads. We talk a lot about different fabrics. We talk about different stabilizers. We talk about toppings. We even have some free designs in there that allow you to do some projects. So that would be a great place for you to also start. We have some online courses that we're putting links to in the description. And in those online courses, you can always watch some of those video lessons for free to see if that course is right for you. All right, don't forget to click like after you finish each of our videos. That way, that is your way of saying thank you for the information on your beautiful Singer SE9180.